Then you will see I have Jenkins. You see Jenkins related videos, and in these videos later you will see that in the step by step I have shown how to configure Java, then Maven, then Cucumber, then install and configure Jenkins. Then after a few videos you will see that I have set up Jenkins and I have run my project using Jenkins. Actually, that is our last destination. Okay, so when you run how to do complete this Jenkins, then you will be good to go to your job search. So Jenkins is our destination, okay, to learn. Last thing. Maybe in next project we will see how to use Jenkins. But if you get some time, so please do some practice. Tell how to install Jenkins. Just follow these videos, okay? Everything is defined over here. I have shown everything here. So how to install and configure Jenkins global tool configuration. Just this is 10 minutes, 20 minutes videos, 10 minutes, 15 minutes videos. So let me see how fast so far we have gone through. I have too many steps open. I have too many steps open. So I need to close this one. I need to close this one. I need to close this one. Okay. So far we have gone through step 8. Okay, then okay. So then we are almost done. Okay, for this one. Okay, do we need a break, Rakib bhai?
Yeah, sure.
Or now I will tell you something important. Okay, so you need to give everybody needs to give attention. This is why if you need a break, so let me know. But everybody needs to participate.
Okay.
And let me see how many people are there. So Belayet, Faisal,
জি স্যার আছি
Faisal আছে? Hello?
হ্যাঁ আছে।
আপনি একটু আওয়াজ দিও। মোশাররফ,
ইয়েস স্যার।
ভাই,
জি ভাই। স্যার আছি।
বুঝতে পারছে?
হ্যাঁ।
So this part also, আমি একটা করি. This part is really you need to give attention. Okay, so that what I tell you. Here, okay, here. So that I told you there are some minor problems here that say somewhere this definition is for this one. It says multiple definition found. That means somewhere already this definition is already written. I could reuse that one. Okay, I can reuse that one. What? You say that I can resolve that issue. That is not a major issue. But that now we need to expand our code. For instance, here, so we have two scenarios so far, right? We have two scenarios so far, but we have written code for only this one. So how do we, if I press Control, okay, and then if I press Control and bring my mouse over here, then I will see a hyperlink. Then if I do a click, then I will go where this step is defined. You see, I will go there. So like again I'm showing. Okay, so if I click my control keyboard, and then if I do a mouse click over here, then it will take me to the place where I have my code defined. So
Okay.
let me understand this line. Okay, so let me understand this line. What was this line in given? This line. Try to remember this line.
একটু ব্রেক দিবেন লম্বা সময় হচ্ছে
হ্যাঁ মুক্তার আসলে ব্রেকটা হলে বেস্ট হতো আর কি যেটা একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট জিনিস
We need a break.
I think so, yes. It will be helpful for everybody.
Okay, let us take a break. 10 minutes and then we can come back. Okay.
Okay. So 5 o'clock resume.
Yes, inshallah. We will expand this project. Okay. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. তা আমরা যেটা হচ্ছে যে অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট 1005, okay, so far we have discussed with a simple scenario, right? We know that we are used to writing this kind of scenario in our Jira. While we write wrote test cases, we wrote this almost similar way, but not in exactly with this format, with this feature, then background, then scenario, then given, when, then. Actually, these are the features of Cucumber. Okay, so we will use this Cucumber feature. So we will do it. So by the time you do assignment 1005 and then 5 and 6, you will learn that how to do this. Okay. Okay, so these are the actually main interest of Cucumber and then automation. So far you see, let us see our code. Okay, so how can we go to see our code? So Rakib bhai, how can I see that or so we will press Control button, then as soon as we press Control button, then we will click over here.
Okay.
Okay, so click over here, then it will take us to the page. Even if this page is closed, so if I click on hold the Control button and click over here, that page will open.
Okay.
Okay, so automatically, for instance, so we are here in Google page. Okay, go back to Google. Okay, so here let me tell you how to tell you. So in our feature file, you say that there are some multiple step definition. It says, so these are the so the warning signal, warning sign. Okay, so multiple step definition found. I click on the privacy link. Okay, that I will fix that. Okay, now for now let us see. So let us remember this line. Given I go to Google homepage. Okay, so let us copy this one. So copy, select copy, and we want to compare this to the step definition. I'm pressing Control and then clicking over here. Do you see this line is here, right? So I copied this line. So we are trying to understand how the step definition files are generated. So we get given, right? So a generated test definition file is generated as given, right?
Okay.
So within the given, it has added double quotation, then up cap. Then within double quotation and up cap, it just pasted this file, this thing. I go to Google homepage. Exactly this one. Until this one, you see, I go to Google homepage. It got from the feature file, and it's ended with a dollar sign and double quotation. Okay. And you see, this is the file. It says public void I underscore go underscore to underscore Google underscore home underscore space, and this is the method. It says throwable. Okay. Actually, this is the name of the method. It also auto-generated. The name is also auto-generated from this, but it got the first letter got lowercase. Since we know that the traditional convention of writing a method name, we start with a lowercase. So this is why it gets I in lowercase. And everything is when I use a space, it gets I underscore. Okay. And then throwable is used by automatically if we want. So it is needed actually in any case we may get an exception. Exception means in some case if I want to open driver, if I do not have any driver file, it will not open a driver, right? If I want to open create a driver object, if I do not have my like driver in place or installed or correct version, then it may create an error. So in order to this is a security. Rose is security. That means if you get an error program, your project will not terminate. Okay, so that we use throws throughable. That means if we use this one, then if any case if you find an error, your program will not terminate. Okay, we'll skip that line. That line will not be executed, but it will not terminate the whole system. Okay, so now we understand, right? How this, what is meant by this? So it is generated from our feature, right? From our feature file, right? Lucky bhai?
Yeah.
Okay. Now see that just we use this code system.set property, and then actually we set a web driver, Chrome driver property, and then we created a Chrome driver over here, right? And then we use driver.get method in order to open home page, and then we give some sleep, and then we use driver.find element by.link test. We click on privacy link and dot click, right? We understand this, right? Everyone understands this, right?
Yes.
Anybody here does not understand this line? I need to ask everybody one by one. Shalom bhai, Shaibul bhai.
We would see it.
So we discussed a lot about this one, right? So we understand. But the difference in this assignment is that we do not have any main method, right? This is the main difference, right? In assignment one, up to assignment 1004, we had a main method, and we run our program by running main method. But we are not using main method, and we will no longer use main method. Okay, we will use our feature file, and we will run our feature file.
So Mukhtar, just to understand the relationship, is it Cucumber is similar to TestMG?
No, TestMG is something different. TestMG is similar to unit test. Unit test for unit test.
Okay. So I mean, even though we have a like a Java file there or Java coding we're writing there, what's the importance of the feature file? What language you are using here? Look, what I understand here, I see
it's called Gherkin. If somebody is used the language is called Gherkin.
Oh, okay.
It's called Gherkin.
Okay, so this is Gherkin language. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Yeah, you please discuss a few minutes. I have a guest over here. I need to take a few minutes there. You please discuss. Okay, I'm pausing for.
Okay, so now since as a QA, what I do now, make sure that the user ID and password and I have created, make sure I go to database, and then I run a select query, whatever query you can say, and I run that query from, let's say, the database table name is users, and then you go there, say, look in the back end, I check make sure the user ID, let's say unique situation Mosharam Hossain, and my password, and also login time is there. So in this way, then then it comes. Then now this backend testing. Sometimes they can ask. Then you can explain also end-to-end testing. This can be also end-to-end testing, and then because suppose an application a feature fails. One thing. When you are a new QA, sometimes what happens is people get so excited when a feature fails, it doesn't work. And it happened to me also as a new QA. it happens, then you just immediately create a bug. I'm pretty sure you guys already learned how to create a bug. So then you create a bug, assign to your developer. Developer may reject because he tests in his environment and he's passing, right? So এক্ষেত্রে যেটা আমরা দেখি is a good practice always you at least minimum 3 times you make sure that that same feature fails. Suppose you click on logged in to Gmail account, it's not working. It throws an error. It gives you some message, or it's not logging in, or it's not doing anything. That means you felt, oh, this is a bug. It's not working. However, as a key, first thing you, as I said, first you always try 3 times. Then in this 3 times, maybe you click 3 times on login button, or maybe then it's not working. Then second thing you need to do immediately, okay, let's check my user ID and password, or my email ID and password is correct. Let's retype that. If you see that it still is good, but it's not working, then you may close the Gmail, the tab, or one of the windows you have. The window you close. Reopen the browser. Basically, what is a good QA always, you have to make sure that when you say a bug is a bug, and you send to your developer, she knows that when something comes from Musharraf, it's really a bug. He doesn't send something to us which is not a bug, because developers are the one most of the time they are goal to try to reject your bug. Try to understand, developers are more আমাদের বাংলা বলে দা কুমড়া সম্পর্কের মতো, যে সে একটা জিনিস বানাচ্ছে, he is creating something and you saying this is not right, it's failing. We as a QA, that's our job. So keep in mind that doesn't matter how much they get upset or angry. Normally they don't, because they're professionals, they understand that. Because at the end of the day, every single employee of the company, whoever involved in this whole SDLC process, their goal to deliver a quality product. Keep in mind that. A developer also knows that he cannot test 100%. This is why QA is there. That's why they hire us. They pay you very high salary, and when you go there, you won't believe that sometimes that you say, আমরা বাংলা বলি মানুষ এটার জন্য তারা আমাকে এত টাকা দেয়, আমি তো বিলিভই করতে পারবো না যে এটা করে আসলে তারা। Anyhow, so it's very important rule. So make sure when you say a bug is a bug, an issue is an issue, make sure this is really an issue. And যদি কয়েকবার তোমার বাগগুলো এমনভাবে যায় যে তারা দেখে যে না, সে যেটাকে বাগ বলছে বা যেটাকে সে ডিফেক্ট বলছে এটা রিয়েলি ডিফেক্ট, তখন কোনো নেক্সট টাইম কোনো সময় তারা তোমাকে চ্যালেঞ্জ করবে না। They may call you to say, what, Musharraf, you created this bug, but I'm not understanding. Can you create this? Or it happens in real job scenario. একটা bug maybe QA environment যে হতে পারে, it may not be seen in the other environment. It could be IT environment, could be dev environment, could be pre-production, depends, it happens. It could be an environment issue. So as I said, so always, so you close the window, then also you can check, you open different browsers. So first what I did, I checked 3 times, then I entered my user ID password again, then I closed my window, and then I opened my window. It's still the same issue. Let's try a different browser. Maybe you are working on Chrome. Try in Firefox. Try in IE. If you're still getting the same thing, then probably you can pretty much hear, okay, maybe you can, if you have a neighbor QA, let's say I'm working next door. They say, hey, Mike, do you have this issue? Can you quickly check? If it's a small issue, can you quickly, or have you ever seen this issue? Find it out. If they say, yeah, we know this issue, then you are 100% sure, yes, it's maybe a bug. And sometimes you can discuss with your coworker, this is nothing wrong. I mean, sometimes you can even discuss with your supervisor if they have time, or if they're, and they say, I see this, what do you think? Sometimes if they're busy, they're going to say, go ahead, create a bug. Sometimes they're going to say, no, this is a known issue, like it happens to our job. It's a known issue. We already have a bug there. Don't worry, but put this information, that copy that bug number, and just say this is a known bug, but I found that feature in this particular build. And so again, this is the bug issue. Then you can discuss more about the Scrum methodology. That's what you can say. So this is the method like I'm working on. Like in our company, we are working Scrum methodology where the sprint is 2 weeks. In this 2 week sprint, I attend different types of meeting, product backlog grooming meeting to sprint planning meeting, sprint review meeting, then retrospective meeting, all those meetings you mentioned. Then you mentioned to them, why are you on this meeting? Right? So then at the end, you can also talk a little bit more and that how reliable you are, how good you are, or if you are lead of any project, you can talk about that. And then in this way, pretty much this is kind of summary you tell them in this project you are involved with. Again, this is just a summary you discuss, and then they can ask you if you give them a little bit broad answer. The first question they ask you, normally there are two questions they ask you at the very beginning. Tell me about yourself, or tell me about your last project or current project. And nowadays, I even see they don't even ask you, tell me about yourself. They simply ask you, tell me what you do, or tell me what you know. Very simple, like you know, you're talking to your friend. And then interview always should be a more like a conversation rather than a memorizing answer. But you know, when you're new, and I was new, I was keep memorizing those things and telling them. But of course, this is how it is. The market is, and then they're going to ask you if you give them a very broad answer at the very beginning. Of course, you also look at their keep your eye on them, make sure when they stop you. Sometimes they if they get you that you understand what you're talking about, they may say, okay, 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 I got it, no problem. You know, now tell me this. Like yesterday, they asked me, so what do you tell me? How much you know about SQL? Then you talk about a little bit more about SQL, how much you know, like. And then in this situation, I know pretty much whoever you're here, they all go for automation. And I don't have much that automation part. Then they may ask you then more scenario type question. On one of the questions they ask you most of the time, what do you like about QA? Very common question. Why are you a QA? Why you want to be QA? And this question they asked me, matter of fact, yesterday. And the interview, it's a face-to-face interview. And another question they ask you, what don't you like about your job? Very tough question and rough question. They're going to ask you this question. Because there is no way a QA works for a long time in a QA, 3 years, 5 years, whatever you're showing your experience. And there's something you may not like. It's very normal. But keep in mind that in an interview, you may not like something, that's okay. You need to tell them. But always say in a positive way. You can say, well, like for example, like yesterday, what I said, I don't know if it's right or wrong. Uh, I sometimes don't like that when I finish my job, that and I'm waiting for the other departments. For example, I finished my bug. I tested everything, submitted my bug to the dev, and dev is not finishing. He's not fixing this bug, and I'm just sitting down and also my time is coming to pass this whole on project to the next level is not coming. That's the time really tiring, and also I don't like waiting too long. But however, now you twist your words. I told them, but however, as we know that everybody is working hard to make sure this project goes to the next level. I understand that they may have it there also bottlenecks. So, but life is. I mean, this is the reality. So even though I may not like it sometimes, but I have to understand that this is the situation we may face sometimes. So, which is okay, and I'm patient. So again, whatever you say negative anytime, always you have to end with the positive. So they know that your negative is not a really negative. You may also sometimes say, the new feature when it comes and that somebody can be tiring, but I love to learn new things. So always negative turn into positive. This way you can, and then they may ask you something. It depends what area. SQL, they may ask you a lot of questions on SQL. If you're a manual QA, they may ask you what is the difference between primary key, foreign key. What is the difference between let's say null and not null, or have you ever done join query? And sometimes they ask you to write the join query. Like yesterday, tomorrow, I think Tuesday, I have a Google Hangout interview. And this is one more thing I want to tell all the whoever new in the QA. Please learn these all side tools. Like for instance, Mukhtar is using WebEx, very very important tool, and in the job world right now. And people don't use much Skype nowadays. This is like old dated. They use like Google Hangouts. They use other tools. So these are small tools, side tools, but good to know. At least have some familiar idea okay, these tools work this way. And find a friend and call them using those different tools, Skype, WebEx, and then this way you get used to it. And because when you go to real work, you don't want to act like you don't know at all, no idea. So at least you know, and Google it immediately. So in this way, you can go forward. Mukhtar, are you back?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know. So yeah, inshallah we can stop here. I'll be happy to share you.
Thank you, Mainuddin bhai. You gave me lots of information.
No problem.
No, good information. Yeah, Mainuddin bhai, next time definitely you will share your experience with them. But I will give you like a few more minutes, then maybe from 6, Dr. Lukman will take it over. So what I wanted to show you here, okay? So I have, so again, so I'm reviewing again the feature file. The feature file I have background. The background is common steps. In background we put all of the common steps, and then we have two scenarios over here. So, but you see that there are some. It says warning signs, multiple step definition found for this one and this one, but this is fine, okay? This does not have any multiple step definition found. So multiple step definition means that these steps maybe is defined somewhere else. So let us see what are the other places that these steps has been defined. Okay? So likely let us hold on control button, and then if we click over here, then you will see it is showing us two definitions. Open definition first one and second one exactly same. This is why it is showing two definitions. Okay? So if we click, hold down the control button and go to the first one, then we will see what is the first one.
Sound মানে একটু slow.
Okay. So maybe I can speak in Bangla at this time. Okay. So here, you see, if আমি যদি এই কন্ট্রোল বাটন চেপে ধরি, then মাউস ওখানে নিলে I will see that দুইটা হচ্ছে সেট ডেফিনেশন দেখাচ্ছে। এই জন্য বলছে যে মাল্টিপল প্লেসেস সেট ডেফিনেশন। তো প্রথমে যদি একটা যাই, সেটা দেখছেন, এটা দেখছে আসলে ব্ল্যাঙ্ক। তার মানে এটা আমার না হলেও চলতো। যে সে অন্য কোথা থেকে অন্য কোনো অলরেডি আছে। বা আবার যদি দেখতে যাই সেকেন্ডটা কোথায় আছে দেখি। যদি ক্লিক করি, সেকেন্ডটা যে প্রজেক্টে আছে দেখেন, সেকেন্ডটা এটা কিন্তু